Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the water signs and all about the person on your mind. Water signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. So, water signs, I wanted to do kind of a more general reading. I like to do twin flame readings and kind of one-off readings here and there, but it felt really important to do a reading about somebody that you have that's been preoccupying your mind lately. So I'm going to be using three decks for your reading today. I'm going to get the overall energy from the Human Spirit Oracle. And I don't have the box for it, but I believe this is called the Chakra Healing Oracle deck. And then the Light Seers Tarot for your tarot reading. So this is for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Angel spirits, guides, what messages do you have regarding the person on their mind? This is the overall energy for the person on their mind. Easy does it, number 17, the Star. I'm just looking here, there's a word and it says dream. Could have been having a lot of dreams about this person lately, but first and foremost, I see it as something that you've been praying about, meditating about. I feel as though this is a very significant person in your life, like a soulmate. Could be a karmic partner too, but if it's a karmic partner, then it's somebody that you recognize as a karmic partner and you already started absorbing and learning the lessons, because there's such a mastery to this figure. There's a, she's emanating all of this energy from her third eye, but just her crown in general, like her solar plexus, like everything is working in cohesion. There's a lot of flow to this card. There's a lot of sacredness. And the easy does it. Well, number one, the easy does it suggests to me that you're taking it one moment at a time, one step at a time. And the number 17 referenced here talks about the Star card, or references the Star card in the Major Arcana, Aquarius energy, and your person could be an Aquarius. And it talks to me about healing. So whatever this connection is, there's either it needs a lot of healing or you're healing from it, but you're kind of well on your way. But I think, okay, especially if it's a karmic partner, we could, when we recognize that we're dealing with a karmic partner, especially if we're pretty far along our spiritual path, then you don't get as caught up in the minutia of the relationship or the connection. And then you start asking the bigger questions to spirit, like, why was I supposed to meet this person? And have I learned the lessons that they were meant to teach me? And what were those lessons? And can I articulate those lessons? Can I recognize behavior in that person and myself? Can I take responsibility for my own part? Am I able to recognize patterns in my life that cause me to encounter a person and a person like this? So there's a lot of awareness that has already happened for you, but I feel like whoever this is, they're pretty significant in terms of your spiritual journey. And if it's not a karmic partner and it's a soulmate, then it's somebody that vibrates in this frequency along with you. Here come the sirens again. I've been sitting here for like 15 minutes, no sirens. The minute I start to do your reading, sirens. All right, so I need to move. I'm planning on it. So, if this is a soulmate, then it's just such, in that sense, I feel there's a lot of equality that's happening. They give you a lot of peace. Like, it's easy. You know when you've met a soulmate, because it's easy to be their friend. And there's a lot of shorthand. Like, you don't need to always explain yourself. And you don't need them to fix you. You just need them to be themselves. You need to have them show up authentically as themselves, and you can show up authentically as yourself, right? So there are two ways to look at it. But just either way, I see you as being very, very grounded, very centered in whomever you're thinking about. And you may not feel that way. Like, if you're thinking about somebody, especially karmic partner, you may feel kind of unhinged. But if you really, it's kind of like Spirit's showing me that that phrase, comparison is the thief of joy. What are you comparing yourself to? It's like, look at it from Spirit's perspective. You're doing a pretty good job. They're showing me, because you're taking it one step at a time. You may be holding yourself to a higher standard, and that's fine, but Spirit is kind of telling me that you are exactly where you need to be. So I'm going to get cards first from this oracle deck to show your energy, your person's energy, the connection, and advice from Spirit. And then I'll get clarifiers from the tarot deck. Well, you got 5 cards, and I'm going to show you the extra one. The extra one is forgiveness. Crown chakra. This is kind of strange, but can you see the faces in the woods? That's a little creepy to me, to be honest with you. It's slightly creepy, but Spirit's laughing at me because it's like representing them. You're like spirit guides kind of watching over the situation just to make sure everybody's okay, because this is a rather unlikely pair, and people might say that about you. Have you ever been friends with somebody and you being friends with them and people are perplexed by it? Maybe because you just look so different, or you have completely different interests, different personalities, and it's just like, how are you guys friends? I get that all the time. Like, how does that connection work? And I'm thinking of a few very particular people right now where people have said that to me. My own mother has said that to me. How are you friends with that person? I don't know. Because we find commonality. We both like naps, you know, or whatever it is. It's finding peace in one another. So I feel as though there has been, if there's a sense of forgiveness, it meant that there was something that needed to be forgiven. And Spirit is saying that that is a very important factor right now. So 4 cards came out for the oracle. I'm going to pull the clarifiers. Interesting. So let's start with you. Another crown chakra card. This is your energy. And the word is despondence. So how I interpret despondence, and especially this image, is we're throwing our hands up in the air. I give up. I don't actually see you giving up. I actually see you more just like, fine, I surrender. Because it's weird, because the world here, the globe here, kind of in her belly area, this harkens back to, or makes me think of, the Empress in the major arcana. Number 3, Taurus energy, and also Libra. The Empress represents the power of all 4 queens in the tarot. She is often depicted as fertile, creative, abundant. She's the master attractor. And so if I'm imagining this character, the one standing as the Empress, it's not like the Empress to just say, you know, sucks all this, I give up. It's not really like the Empress to do that. She's not a quitter. But there could have been a kind of opposition at one point. I see pride. But the Empress is somebody who knows her worth. And so sometimes we can't help it. We just need to be right. And sometimes we have to resign ourselves to the fact that we can know that we're right, but we don't need to stick it in everybody's face all the time. I'm getting that for some of you, the person on your mind is a parent or an older person in your life, like a grandparent. Could be an older boss. I think it's closer than that, though. I think it's somebody that you love. And you are just saying, look, I'd rather have the relationship than have my pride. It's very difficult. That's a really difficult thing to do. So despondence can be like it's kind of a loaded word, because sometimes to be despondent is to be distant. There's a distance in that feeling, like a absenteeism, like a not present, and that can be kind of difficult sometimes to deal with. King of Pentacles in reverse. So this is your energy, water signs. So it could be like you're just trying to work on your abundance, you're trying to work on your prosperity, your stability, and you might not be in that position right now, and it's difficult for you to then have to negotiate with people that are perhaps giving you a hard time. But you're trying, and I see you succeeding to a certain extent. You're still making it work. You're still making it work. I'm going to ask for another clarifier on the Despondence card. 2 cards. The Tower in reverse and the 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So, you know, it could be difficult. Okay, so all these cards came in reverse, but I want to show them to you in the upright. King of Pentacles is earth energy. It's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and it talks about the material world. By the time we've reached the King, that represents somebody that has a lot of maturity and a lot of expertise, and is the most heightened state of the suit. So this is somebody who is normally very abundant, very knowledgeable, very capable. And when you get the card in reverse, it's like we're lacking that stability, we're lacking that confidence in those arenas, the material world. 10 of Cups in the upright talks about blissfulness, joy, love in all of its forms, family. And yet this card came in reverse. So, still on this quest. Maybe on the quest to find self-love. Maybe that's why all the meditation and all the prayer is happening. You know, and maybe there's a part of you that feels that the person on your mind is like somehow setting you back from this. Tower in reverse. The Tower is major arcana, number 16, and it talks about great shock and upheaval. like things that are not stable, things that are rickety. This card really upsets me, actually. It's one of those things, just how sometimes I can be so tremendously overly empathetic to animals and so much less empathetic to people. And I don't enjoy that part of myself, but it's just a fact. I give a lot less forgiveness to human beings and a lot more attention to animals. I think because animals feel innocent and people don't. And yet here's this card, right? That, like, if an animal can trust, then we should be able to trust too. It's difficult, right? I don't know where I was going with that. But the Tower in the reverse, it's like you're preventing, maybe you're foregoing something right now so that you can prevent a Tower moment from happening. Because once a Tower moment happens in our lives, things change irrevocably. Like, it's like you can't unsee it. You can't go back in time. Once that Tower moment hits, there's a lot of upheaval in a person's life. Most of the time, it's for good, because something wasn't working. And if we want to attain our highest endeavor, our highest level of spiritual life, then something needs to give, something needs to change. For the person on your mind, the throat chakra, quest. Actually, I mean, you know what I'm seeing? This is the third eye. The purple is the third eye, which is really interesting because it's here. In this deck, gray is the crown, so I apologize for that. The third eye, like instinct. So for the longest time in this relationship, you could have been ignoring the downloads from spirit because sometimes the pride and the ego gets in the way. Sometimes we don't want to learn the lesson. I'm just tired of lessons, you know? And it's like, I hear somebody saying that. I'm just so tired of lessons. Like, how many lessons do I have to learn? But if we accept that we are spiritual beings, then a part of us has to accept the idea that Earth is school, and we enrolled in school, and that we're here to learn, and that the learning never stops. Very frustrating. Your person got the throat chakra and the word quest. Quest. They could be on a journey of discovery of themselves. It's interesting here. This deck is so peculiar, and I've said it time and time again, and I'm just going to keep using that word to describe it. It's peculiar. But it's like, okay, I see like swampy grasslands, and one has water and one doesn't. And it's almost like this person here is trying to contemplate, how am I going to bring the element of water to this field, this place, and like represent, like symbolically, it represents some flow, it represents emotions, and infusing the land with some kind of sustenance. But symbolically for your person, I think that it's more about them trying to get in touch with their feelings a little bit more closely. I don't see it on the table, but I'm feeling King of Cups. Trying to attain a level of emotional maturity. I'm kind of being pious about it. Okay, the word that just came to me was obedient. So they could be really regimented in their religion or their spirituality or their connection to the earth. You know, maybe you've been on your spiritual path for a while, and maybe they are just kind of coming to grips with it, or coming to grips with understanding it. So like we can, You know, I can say with confidence that I've been like Buddhist since I was young, but I didn't really understand the principles of it until I got much older. Like I didn't really, it's only when we start to question the things that have always been there that we truly understand what they represent to us. Like if you just kind of accept everything all the time as it is, there's like, it's kind of like, sometimes it can make you into an automaton, and that doesn't just apply to religion, it applies to anything dogmatic. Our politics, our religion, our education, our whatever. Always be curious. Look at different sides, different points of view. Always, always, always. And then you, after looking at all those points of view, if you come back to the same conclusion that I believe what I believe in my heart and soul, and now intellectually, because I've looked at the whole situation, I can still say that in my heart and soul I believe this, then I can't argue with you, right? Because it's like, yeah, you did the work. You tried to understand other points of view, and you still came to the same conclusion, and you gave it a fair shot. It's like, I really respect people like that. And they could have radically different beliefs from me, but if they've done that exploration, there's so much respect, you know? And so maybe your person is kind of on that quest right now. You know why I say it's so important? Because the devil in reverse came out to clarify for them. This is Capricorn energy, number 15 in the major arcana. See how I was talking about this water, this emotion? In this particular card, it's such an unconventional devil card, because a lot of times the devil card in tarot is, you know, he's in like a pit of fire or whatever. Here he's under the water. He's looking so serene, his hair floating, and just saying, come with me. Come with me. Right? Even holding these two cards up, it's like, which one do we choose? Which one do we choose? But I see your person is, they might have had some addiction issues or demons that they were dealing with, or, you know, actions that they took when they were younger that they're not so proud of and were healing from it. They could have experienced loss that sent them astray a little bit, but they're overcoming this. We all have to at some point. This devil energy is no longer dictating their life. Can I get a clarifier on the quest card? Quest for the person on water sign's mind. Thank you, Spirit. Knight of Wands in reverse. So whatever this quest is that they're on, they're not being haphazard about it, or a flash in the pan. Knight of Wands the Knight of Wands is the most passionate knight, but it's also the most unreliable knight, because it's just fueled by this fire that's eventually going to probably peter out. It's probably going to burn out. But they got this card, your person got this card in reverse, which just kind of shows to me that they're committed. Whatever quest that they're on, you know, maybe it's not like religious quest, but they're trying to get a new job, or they're trying to just try new things, better themselves, improve their health. Whatever it is, they're trying to better themselves, and they're not BSing about it. So that's really good. When you don't BS about stuff, you raise your vibration. I'm struggling with that right now because I'm considering like quitting a class that I enrolled in, and I don't want to, and I'm really struggling not to, but I've missed a few classes, I'm losing money on it. I'm just like, you know, do I just not have enough time? And it's a struggle. It's a struggle to commit really to something. I can commit to things that I'm getting paid for, like with work or whatever, why can't we privilege our own self-development, right? And so even with me, it's that day to day, I have to rally. And your person is definitely rallying. So that's good. I mean, of the two of you here, you're both dealing with your own, like, you got the Tower in reverse, they got the Devil in reverse. So not easy energies, but hey, it's those kind of challenges that create resiliency, right? Where's the connection? I mean, this is gorgeous. Gratitude. Couldn't be more gorgeous than this. In the 3D, in the 5D, you and your person are at least very thankful that you're in each other's lives. And there's growth. You see the vines here. There's camaraderie. There's a lot of love. Here's that kind of pregnant belly again. So there seems to be some evolution of, like, maybe at one point this connection was a little fraught and we're developing ourselves now into something stronger and better than ever. Clarified by the 8 of Wands, because there's been a lot of momentum. Like, we haven't been resting on our laurels in this relationship. We've been trying to make time for each other, trying to come to some understanding. I just felt a very sharp pain over my right eyebrow. I don't know if any of you are feeling that in this area or in your right temple. Lots and lots of intention becoming reality with this 8 of Wands. That's really beautiful. What's the advice from Spirit? This is interesting. The root chakra, perfection, which quite frankly is a concept I can't stand. I think perfection is kind of evil, personally. And it's clarified by the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So 7 of Pentacles, earth energy, talks about like planting the seed and waiting for things to come to fruition. And then being at that point of assessing the situation and saying, gosh, you know, I really invested a lot of time into this person, place, or thing. And I'm wondering, was it worth it? Well, Spirit is saying that all depends on what you think worth it means. Are you looking for perfection? Or are you looking for growth potential? Are you looking for evolution? Because once we've reached perfection, there's nothing else. It's perfect and that's that. End game. But if we're kind of looking for growth and expansion, we can only just rise up, rise up, rise up, right? I'm gonna get a clarifier on the perfection card. Two cards came out. King, didn't I tell you I felt the King of Cups and the Hanged Man, Virgo energy. Scorpio, you showed up in your own reading. King of Cups. Didn't I tell you that the King, I felt like that emotional maturity needed to be, that somebody needed to come to this place of calm within themselves. This resoluteness, this feeling that everything's going to be okay and that they were safe to articulate their feelings, right? And this could be, you know, a place where you might have to admit perhaps to your person that things, maybe you thought things should have been perfect and they weren't, and you're trying to come to grips with that. Because you've had some perspective. The Hanged Man is number 12 in the major arcana. It's Virgo and Pisces energy, and it talks about getting the 10,000 foot view on something. Like, we've been way too close and we have to rein it, like pull it all the way back and just see things a little bit more objectively. But it's kind of like, see things from Spirit's perspective. There's this just an absolute beauty. with the odd couple that I perceive you and your person being. So that's your reading, water signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, water signs.